gamers. So this is like a live commentary slash reaction video feedback to the new stream posted by Ironhide, because here they showcase the new towers themselves and the abilities. And it looks like we're going back to the classics, as we only have 2 abilities per tower, except for like barracks, because before barracks were the only ones who had 3 abilities. So first up is the Royal Archers, the mightiest marksmen of the kingdom. They are also renowned for being assisted by War Eagles. And look at those stats, pretty basic. And for the first ability, we have Armor Piercer. Shoots 3 empowered arrows that deal damage, ignoring a percentage of any enemy's armor. So shoots 3 empowered. So it's like thing that reduces, no, actually ignoring enemy armor. So it's like true damage, I guess. Okay, next is Rapacious Hunter. Did I pronounce that right? I think I did. Rapacious Hunter summons an eagle that attacks enemies on the path. Oh boy, is this like Crow's Nest? If so, I hope it's like better than not like 2 to 4 DPS. I remember when that thing just did 1 to 2. It's so bad, man. Anyways, so next tower is the Paladin Covenant. Paladins are the backbone of Linearia's elite forces, using their divine power to protect and heal themselves in battle. So the first barracks, so of course low damage but high health and pretty good armor. So first skill is the Lead by Example. Replaces one of the paladins with a veteran of the guard, which gives defending units 20% bonus armor. So I'm guessing this is kinda like the orc captain promotion from Vengeance, where one of the orcs became more powerful than the other 2. And this also gives a buff to nearby units, giving 20% bonus armor. So next is Healing Prayer. When soldiers reach 20% of their total health, they become invisible and heal over a period of time. So a good stalling, I would say, because when they're like in the verge of death, they became invincible. Oh boy. Yeah, I think it's good. Okay. Next is the Arcane Wizard. Tapping into pure magic, the Nerian wizards wield enough power to utterly destroy their enemies. Of course, high damage and pretty good range, but I'm assuming it attacks low. And for the first ability, Disintegrate, cast a ray that instantly kills the target. So of course, it doesn't insta-kill bosses, but rather deals damage to them instead. I wonder how much though. The next is Empowerment, grants a damage buff to nearby towers. So kinda like, what's that ability? Blazing Heat from the Furnace? Yeah. Alright, next is Tri-Cannon. So I believe this is the first Dark Army tower. Yep, the Dark Army's newest invention for modern warfare rains fire and destruction thanks to its multiple cannons. So of course this is also I think the first artillery. Overheat, the Tri-Cannon's barrels become red hot for a period of time, making bombs leave scorching area when they explode. And the next is Bombardment. Shoots bombs in rapid succession, covering a wider area and dealing massive area damage. Okay, looks good. Next is, looks interesting. Arborean Emissary. When provoked, the peaceful Arborians have been knowing to use their magic to mark and weaken their enemies. So I guess, yeah, this is probably a magic tower. And first ability, we have the Gift of Nature. Summons wisps that heal allies in an area. Oh boy, a healing ability. Remember Healing Roots? Yeah, I'm not sure about healing. Like healing for heroes like Junpei and Dianion. Those are pretty good, but for a tower, not so much. Next is Bramble Grasp. Grows roots along the path, damaging and stunning enemies. So yeah, just a stunning ability. Next is Demon Pit. Spawning from the lava's depths, these imps don't hesitate to fling themselves into enemies' path. Big Boss. Spawns a big imp that walks through the path fighting enemies. Then next to that is the Master Exploders. The imp's explosions deal more damage and applies burning, so a little extra effect on that. Then Ballista Outpost. Overly enthusiastic about war, the goblins made an extra effort to make sure they wouldn't need to wield the bow again. So for the first ability, Final Nail, the last shot of the tower deals 50% more damage and stuns the target for 2 seconds. Okay, interesting. 50% more damage, pretty high I'd say. Plus a stun, that's not bad. The next is Scrap Bomb, fires a scrap bomb at a great range, dealing damage and leaving debris that slows enemies for 6 seconds. Okay, 6 seconds is pretty long. Alright, next is Dwarven Flame Spitter. Bring the heat of the forge into battle. Dwarves lend their fiery resolve to the alliance. So we are having some Dwarven appreciation from the Dwarven Kingdom. So this is what would happen if Bolger would invest more. Yeah. The first ability is called Blazing Trail. Fires a flaming bomb that spreads fire on impact. Okay. Next is Scorching Torches. Columns of fire erupt from the path, damaging enemies and stunning them for 1 second. Okay. 1 second. I wonder how that will work. Or like how often this ability would happen. Next is Rocket Gunners. Hey, remember Rocket Riders? These are them now. They now wield cool guns. These special troops can hold their own both on ground and air, unleashing their advanced weaponry upon unsuspecting enemies. So pretty high damage and pretty long range. And for the first ability or skill, it's the Phosphoric Coating. Each attack destroys 1% of enemy's armor and deals area damage. Okay, I think this is permanent. Yeah, I think so. This is permanent. Next is Sting Missiles. Fires a missile that instantly kills the target, deals high damage to bosses. Okay, another insta-kill, but this time for the Rocket Gunners instead of the Arcane. So this one, I believe this is the last free power that you will get. Eldritch Channeler. Veslan's apprentices use their corrupt power to cast a dark ray of affliction over the enemies. Of course, high damage. So first ability is... First ability is the Power Overflow. The magic ray now extends over 3 additional enemies, slowing them and dealing 25% of the total magic damage to each target. Okay, 3 additional enemies. Then Mutation Hex. Turns a nearby enemy into a powerless sheep. That sheep has 50% of the target's health. So yeah, basically polymorph, but a darker version. Okay, now I believe this is the first A tower. Elven Stargazer. Calling upon the energies of the cosmos, the Elven Stargazers can fight many enemies at the same time. Okay, looks cool. Like a female. We have a female tower now, guys. Event Horizon. Teleports 3 enemies back down the path. Okay, basically a teleport. And then Rising Star. Enemies killed by the tower have a 60% chance of exploding in a burst of 3 stars that target nearby enemies. Okay, so 6%, that's pretty high actually. That's like on the higher end of a percentage. Okay, next is the tower that everyone loves. The tower that wins every damn poll, the freaking Necromancer. Wielding the darkest form of magic, Necromancers use their enemies as part of their ranks of an endless army. So sad for some of you Necromancer fans out there, as this tower is paid. Womp womp. Of course, I assume this tower would have almost the same gimmick of the Necromancer in Frontiers of having to raise skeletons from defeated enemies. And first is the Signal of Silence. Curses and silences enemies in an area of the path for 10 seconds. So like Totem of Totem of Spirits, not Totem of Weakness, sorry. And then we have the Death Rider. Summons a Death Rider that runs along the path, trampling any enemies in the way. So I think this guy won't like stall just like in Frontiers, but rather would have like the same gimmick as Jack's Nightmare ability, where he summons those red horses along the path. And next is the Battle Brew Masters. The Northerners are expert in the art of potion making and use their beverages into battle to fight enemies. Looks cool. Look at that guy with electricity. Elixir of Might summons an empowered warrior that fight enemies on the path for 10 seconds. Okay, that's pretty long. Okay, next is Bad Batch. Hey, nice Star Wars reference. Throws a giant barrel full of poison that damages enemies and slows them for 1 second. Okay. Like I wonder how big this area would be. Enemies, yeah. So I think this area, since it says enemies. Okay, next is the Dune Sentinels, hailing from Hammerhold. The Dune Sentinels might be the deadliest of the desert's denizens. Okay, I wonder where these guys were when Vezdan was invading Hammerhold. Okay, so for the first skill, it's the Bounty Hunt. Throws a bouncing knife that damages targets. If the target dies, it yields bonus gold. So already, this looks like a good tower for like max gold challenges. And the next is the Whirling Doom. Launches 2 whirling blades to the path, damaging enemies for 4 seconds. Okay, interesting. Then last tower is, I think this would be a fan favorite of a lot of people because of the interesting gimmick of it being able to swap between other towers on the map. So the Grim Wraiths, specters that fight even after death. Their power allows them to move through shadows and surprise enemies. Okay, first skill is Undying Dread. Defeated Wraiths fling themselves against a nearby enemy, dealing 80 true damage, reducing its speed and having its attack damage. Yeah, it says having, like halving, I think. That's what it meant. Okay, next is Soul... oh boy, how do I pronounce this? Soul Siphoning. The Wraiths deal 60% extra damage after spending 5 seconds in combat. So yeah, basically the longer they fight, the stronger they become. So my overall thoughts on that tower so far is they're pretty diverse, and I hope they're like on par with each other and not like there's an obvious meta to choose from, because like in Vengeance we have like Bone Flingers, Mausoleum, Harassers, Blazing Gem. Those were like the most obvious and best towers, which ultimately outclasses the other towers. So I hope in this game like all of the towers are on par with each other. Nothing's too overpowered or underpowered. And that is it for this small showcase and feedback talk from me. But we're not done yet, as there are some other highlights in the stream which I think were interesting. So first up is Blackburn. He is returning, but not in a way you'd expect, because he's in item form. Remember the Juggernaut from Vengeance? Well, I think Blackburn in this game would be kinda like that, where you spawn him and then he would wreak havoc.
Blackburn joined the Alliance. Did we rescue him after the Ancient Ghost levels? Do we know that, or is it a mystery?
Bad guys have their inner dealings.
Yeah, we talk about Blackburn, right?
Yes.
Well, many have seen the reference or the Easter egg in the Vengeance updating stage, where you get its parts. So we wanted to play with that like as if it were a canon event, right? Like you get its armor and it has part of its essence, and you can now call him to battle. That's why the item is called Helmet of Blackburn,
Yes.
right? Helmet of Blackburn.
And so that is it for this mini video. I am really excited and pumped for this new game. I really hope it won't be like as bad as Vengeance, and based from my questions from like most known people in the community like MMLH, Aries, and Viduk, their reaction to the game was pretty good, and I hope it won't disappoint, because this game is pretty, like in everyone's radar, and are really expecting a lot from it. And for more updates, I really suggest for you guys to join the Ironhide Games community Discord server, because for like quick and constant updates, you can go there, because there's of course a dedicated channel for announcements. And that is it, and thank you guys for watching, and I will disappear again until probably Alliance comes out. Boosh.